Good morning, my name is Ben. We're going to do an overview, a bit of a catch up on how it all went together, paint scheme, and a points coverage of the Galatas Dreadnought for the 8th edition. Now, this is obviously a Forge World product as such, but it's actually really quite nice to put together. Okay, so basically, it all went together pretty easily as such, but getting it to hold certain poses would be a case of glue a bit, test and adjust. If you take your time, it's not an issue as such, really not. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Blades, if you ever want to copy that, I've got a link on my Twitter, for example. It goes from purple, standard kind of blues, Temple Guard, ethereal blue, and if you really want white, put a bit of masking tape, not sellotape, because that will tear your paint straight off, but a bit of masking tape or something similar down the middle. Do that and then repeat it the other way around, do it with dry brushing and it'll work out fine. I try to use a bit of blue to break up the rest of it, so you've got some coming off the pipes and whatnot. Shield, obviously going from black to brown to corn red, up through the stages, all the way to Avaland yellow. Too many layers, so I've got a bit of chalkiness. But anyway, right, so let's get into some of it. The Contemptor Galatas Dreadnought is going to have a movement, a weapon skill and ballistic skill that are going to be degrading, but the ballistic skill is not such an issue on the basis that it's using an auto-hitting flamer, effectively, or a set of them. So, its wounds will obviously start with 10, and then its profiles will degrade, so the movement will go from 9 to 6 to 4, weapon skill will go from 2 to 3 to 4, the ballistic skill, which won't actually be affected, would have gone from 2 to 3 to 4 as well. And that's going down with the 6 wound brackets down to the 5 for your halfway point, down to the 2 for your very last bracket. And yeah, it's actually quite a nice little bit of kit. So it's going to have a strength 7, toughness 7, 10 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership of 8, and a 2+ save. Now this 2+ save is also coupled with a 4-up invuln save. Be aware though, if any wounds do go through, on a roll of a 6-up, you get to ignore them, which is always nice. So I'll leave that with you in the back of your mind. Now, Galatas Warblade, big sword basically, shooting, 8-inch range, heavy 2d6, strength 6, -1 AP, 1 damage, and anything from there will be auto hitting as such. So don't worry about your movement, and also don't worry about your degrading profile as far as ballistic goes. Now for the melee, obviously it's going to be a case of melee for the strength, which is strength 7, which is good for most things. AP -3, D3 damage. So think of it as a wrecking ball really. Drop it off, deep strike it. There's a stratagem to do so. Behind some cover, move round, get into cover and do what you need to, or just go full on attack. But if you do, just remember that although it's got the Galatas Warblade, it's also got a Galatas shield as such, effectively. Now, although this confers a 4-up invuln, it also means anyone attacking you is -1 from their attacks, and that's well worth keeping in mind, especially when you're going up against some of the hordes. This is great for that. And also on a roll of a d6, if you explode, on a 6, then it's going to be d3 mortal wounds. Basically, this is also 8 power points, and 155 points from the beta rules currently in 2019. You don't pay anything for the shield, and you don't pay anything for the Warblade. So 155 points stat. I rock a 3-man unit of Custodes that were, I need to check if they've changed now, 171 points. That was 1 shield, and sword and board ×1, and then it was 2 spears, all with extra attacks on there, and that used to be 171, so this would actually be cheaper. I think this is actually one of the few really interesting models that the Custodes have that are also almost practically auto includes. The range isn't massive, but thankfully due to Forge World opening up their models to 40k, it gives it a real chance to be utilised. Right, I'm gonna go, and hopefully you have a good day. Thanks very much. My name is Ben.